This is comparable to the Meilawa from New York. Fun fact, Atlanta's suburb, Duluth, people don't like when I say Atlanta. Duluth has the second biggest concentration of Koreans outside of Korea. So first comes LA, and then you have Duluth. One of the challenges though with how America has adopted Korean food is that they have not yet adopted Korean breakfast or even being open during breakfast times. I know that there are Korean cafes with like the baked goods and stuff like that. That becomes one of your challenges. What are you gonna do in the mornings? Here are 3 places that I would go to if I were visiting or staying in Duluth, particularly looking for something to do in the morning, maybe before noon. All right, so for our first stop, we are going to Confections Bakery. Confections is a local Korean style coffee shop and bakery. They've got a couple locations now, but I don't think they're a national big chain or anything. We are in the Duluth location next to Sambong Naengmyeon on Pleasant Hill, I think. So I will check it out. I have never tried the cakes here, but I assume they're good in like Asian terms, as in not too sweet. I've tried the coffee, but I don't think it's worth getting it when you have much more specialized cafes nearby. But if you just need something with your bread, then absolutely come here. All right, so now that I've done the pan, I think I'll just go through what I recommend here. So the cream pastry is fine, but it is not as puffy and crispy as you would expect it to be. I think my second runner-up here is going to be the almond croissant. As a croissant, it's not that great, but the filling is actually really awesome in this one. And they give you a lot of almonds. So I think the filling here makes this a runner-up for what's good to get here. The star of the show, though, is going to be this Japanese salt bread. I think Koreans in Korea would say that there is still a Korean salt bread, which they call sogkompang. And this is probably the best I've had in the US. So let's dive into this. So we're doing this review in the car because the baby is asleep. So here is the salt bread. One piece of advice, try to pick the pieces that actually have a lot of salt on it. But look at that, like it is so shiny and kind of crispy. Like it is a texture bomb, and it is probably the best thing at Confections. So the way I would describe it is like the outside is crispy, and then the inside is hollow, but it's like really moist in here. So much that when you're eating it, it feels like that's cheese. I hope you can see how moist this part is. So when I'm eating it, you feel the butter, the buttery goodness come out of the crispy part, and then you're pulling on the dough that feels like cheese because it's like salty, stretchy. So you have these amazing textures of crispy, you have the bounce of the dough, and then this like cheesy pull. I highly recommend finding a great sogkompang or salt bread in your area, whether it's Confections or something else, and it is so simple yet so good. I can't remember the Korean word for like simple but tastes good, but they have a word for it. And I would say this is like a simplified croissant, in the sense of it's a croissant without the pretentiousness, where a croissant is so complex, it has to be made very, very well for it to be an amazing croissant, right? It has to have the layers, and it's like 5 textures, right? It's probably flaky, the flakes are crispy, it's got the bounce of the layer, it's got the bounciness in the dough, it's got the layers, I don't know, some other texture, right? But with the salt bread, you're just looking for 3. The important part is you have the change and the dynamic textures of it, where you still have crispy, you still have soft, you still have like cheesy melty, and what that results in is a much cheaper product that you can find at a good quality, right? Where I think this probably beats more than half of the croissants I've ever had. What I'm trying to say is I would pick this over a majority of the croissants in Atlanta. If we were in France, different story, but that's how good I think this is. So first morning stop, come to Confections. You can try out the other stuff, but this is the one that I will stand by. The Japanese salt bread, Koreans will call it Korean salt bread. It's also called sogkompang. First recommendation of what you would do in Duluth in the mornings. So no morning is complete without coffee. So my pick, or my general recommendation, would be Cafe Blue. They also roast their own beans right here. So they've got kind of blends as well as single origin. And the most interesting thing about this place is they do a Jamaican single origin, and it is extremely pricey. I actually have not yet tried it, but typically an 8-ounce bag at most roasters is gonna be $18 to $25, maybe even $30, but one day I'll try the $50 one. So there it is, the sweet corn latte. Very popular in Korea, and it's for a good reason. So, one of my problems with cold foam, I just got all cold foam there, no coffee. Maybe I'd try to get a spoon or a straw next time, but off the bat, it tastes just like creamed corn. So if you're a fan of creamed corn, this is the latte for you. So I'm gonna take a big swig and make sure I tip it enough to get coffee. Yeah, that's probably about the angle that you want. So I think this is why you should go to Cafe Blue if you're in Duluth in the mornings. Plus, the kicker here, I don't know what these are called. I've only had it in ceviche, where it's these like crispy It's these crispy corn nuggets. It's definitely crispier than corn pops. I've seen the bag in America, but I don't know what it's called. It makes drinking this so fun because as you're drinking it through all the layers of cold foam, coffee, and then I think some sweetener right here, you'll get a random crispy corn, and it's excellent. I would say it's only a little bit expensive for $8, but I would get it every now and then, especially if you're not that into sweet coffees like me. This is an excellent one to try out. One last piece of advice for a Duluth morning. Because Duluth is so highly Korean, Sunday mornings are slower until people get out of church versus if you were walking around on a Saturday. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at Duluth. Up to you if you prefer the busier or prefer it slower, but just keep that in mind. And our last stop, if you're looking for something more substantial, is called Hong Kong Bakery and Dim Sum. Some history about Hong Kong Bakery and Dim Sum. Hong Kong Bakery was owned by a different owner and located in Asian Square, also known as the Sweet Hut Plaza on Buford Highway. And then when they switched owners, the owners moved it over here and also tacked on a dim sum business. Alright, so now that I've done a pan of it, here's what I recommend. I like this salted egg yolk bun, as well as the coconut roll. It reminds me of pan de coco from the Philippines. I mean, the twist donut is just so simple that it's great. That's just funny for butter lovers because the pineapple bun here is excellent. That top, perfect. See, look, their pineapple buns look so good. Pineapple buns look really good, but between you and me, I think the dough is kind of dry. This is unlabeled today, but they have remedied the dryness of it by competing with this viral place in New York called May Lawa. And there is barbecue pork inside there, so that's what I'll be trying with you guys today. Here are your sauces for the dim sum. And then there is the dim sum menu. You can look at it online though. Alright, so here is what it looks like close up. And then I open it up for my daughter. Oh, at least you know it's flaky. This I think is the best part. Their pineapple part, that custard top is so good. But this is comparable to the May Lawa from New York, where they've got that sweet pineapple bun at the top, and then you got like a savory barbecue pork inside. I do wish there was a little bit more barbecue pork, because if you take a look at my daughter's bits here, it's a lot of like oniony filling, but it's still really good. So I think like it's good enough that you don't have to go to New York if you're craving a pineapple pork bun. That's why I recommend coming here. As far as the dim sum goes, I think it's mediocre, it's good enough. I just think that the experience is a little weird because when you think of dim sum, you think of the cart experience where you're sitting at a table being served and there's a cart and you pick the dim sum. More recently, restaurants have moved away from that, call it post-COVID, call it cost savings, but now it's made to order. But at least you're getting waited on. Now here, it's the extreme where it's like a self-serve dim sum. So you place the order. You could even place the order on a machine and never talk to anyone. And then they'll call you up once your dim sum is cooked. It's up to you to get your chili oil, soy sauce. It just becomes an odd experience. I wouldn't be so turned off if it wasn't called dim sum. Maybe if it was just like self-serve Chinese food. I don't know what the word is, but because it's so far from the original experience, I didn't enjoy the process. But outside of that, bakery's still good. Get the pineapple barbecue pork bun. So those are the 3 places I would recommend for a Duluth weekend morning. If you have any other things you want me to check out, comment down below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm supposed to say that. I think the algorithm likes it.